can have legitimate freedom in Christ or licentious freedom. So if you take licentious freedom, I guess you would have to have a host body to do that, wouldn't you? How are you going to have licentious freedom unless you're willing to take on a host body? Did you know that in heaven there is no male or female? It says those who are worthy of the resurrection are neither married.
Oh, you want to watch it? I'm sorry.
In marriage, for they are equal unto the angels. There is neither male nor female. So to become human, if you're a god, you would have to take on a human body, right? Well, did you know Jesus said that exact thing? A lot of people, oh no, they didn't. Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He said in John 10:34, when the Jews were going to stone him, he said, do not your own scriptures say, I have said ye are gods. And Psalm 82, I'll quote it, because I know it. I have said ye are gods, you are all children of the Most High.
Got to keep up with this guy.
But you shall die like men, you shall fall like one of the princes. Because Jesus is here to get back those that fell. What do you think reconciliation is? Be reconciled to Christ. No, God through Christ. Not be reconciled to Christ. Be reconciled to God through Christ. How could you be reconciled?
What is it? I didn't even see it. I didn't put that there for any reason, but I did get it at 11:19. At 11:19 and 20 seconds a.m. 11:19. And then the four winds of heaven will be bursting open. Crazy, man. It's crazy. We're not allowed in stores anymore. Like, they're just not letting you in. It's like, whose idea was this? Must have been that damn serpent. What is COVID-19? What is COVID-19? I feel like I'm beheaded. COVID-19 is, it's the video that's coming up. I pick the 19th on every day. I mean every month. Because I'm waiting for that video on the 19th. So I think I said February 19th. Because it was 26, no wait, 26/16. Now when did the official name come out for the COVID-19? The 26th of January was the first vid, and that was Kobe Bryant falling from the sky. So then there's a second vid coming up, the co-video. I know there's 26/16, but there's also 3 days later. 3 days later, he just might pop up from being in the belly of the whale 3 days later. I should have music playing in the background. I want to sound like Derek Burrows. I want to sound like you. That music, because it's calming. Elevator music, please. Let's go hang out over here. I love you guys very much. Very much. I really do. Because when this thing's over, this world script, when it's finished, this phase is done. So I already missed a phase. I already missed this phase because I know it's going away. But the next phase is going to be pretty damn cool. Oh man. It's almost a shame how if you just can't sense it or feel it, that you just can't experience it, and you gotta suffer through what's getting ready to happen here. I mean, think about the stuff, your worst nightmare, the worst movie, the worst everything in the skies. Oh man, I can't wait to see this. If I'm alive, of course. After that, I'm still waiting on that COVID-19 video. I'm waiting for that to happen on a 2-3 bypass. You know, whatever the hell 2-3 bypass is, I don't even, maybe it's just my bypass. Maybe it's just my delusion. I think I'm delusional. I think that Satan has sent, God has sent a strong delusion. Because apparently I got 450 other people telling me the same damn thing. If the more people tell you that you are, you must be, right? You must be. It doesn't go there, that goes up higher. Oh, cool. Just is it upside down or right side up? I can't tell. Looks like someone with a mustache. Some pretty big teeth, blue teeth. Got a pointy black nose. Oh, Clay, is that you up in the sky in the sun floating around in the moon at night? Or does Derek Burrows get the moon? I think so. I think he wants the brighter light. Right, Derek? Again, I want to apologize, to my boss if you're watching my videos and you're like, he's just wasting my time. I'm not wasting your time at all. Because it's not about the money. It's not about the currency. There's barely anybody still working. You got to cut me a break sometimes too. can still talk and get work done. I have to. I have no choice. I have to. The Lord told me. He's like, "Hey, Robin." I'm like, "Yes, Click. I mean, what, Lord? Of the Lord of the Land? Are you my landlord?" Oh my God, I've been writing checks out to you all this freaking time? You're my landlord? Wow. I'm tired of writing those checks out. I really am. It's just too much. Just too much. I don't even want to live there anymore. This is my 8th year. It'll be my 7th full year this summer, July. Because we moved there in 2012. And I stayed the last 2 years because my son was still going to school. And it was a really good school district, you know, to try to brainwash him. It ain't working. But I know the gadgets and stuff still get kids to get distracted. This is pretty loud too, ain't it? Who cares what you're talking about, Robin? Just shut up already. See, these used to be the thoughts. These are thoughts that can pop in your head at first. And then you know who's throwing the thoughts at you. Once you know that, you stop listening. You stop listening to them. So I'm sure my boss will forgive me for if I didn't produce enough work in an expected day. I mean, we are at the end of the world. But it's just the end of, it's the end of the system of that world that they were in. The slave system. I want to work when I feel like working, not when I have to. I'll wear a mask if I don't have to wear a mask, not when you're telling me to. I can't participate? Fine. I'll just rely on God to take care of me like He always has my entire life. Ain't nothing different. Maybe different for most people, but or maybe it's not at all. Maybe it's easy for everybody. Man, I miss going to restaurants already. Yeah. But for a split second, and then I won't think of it anymore. Because this reminds me of like going to an Italian place. Like the, what is that one? Carrabba's. Carrabba's is, I like that. Me and my wife like going there. Well, we liked going there. America's going to open back up again. Trump said it. He said America's going to open up. As soon as they give us that test, there's a test coming out. It's mandatory, or else you can't enter into the places either, even though you got your mask. I think everybody already knew that though. but it's coming. And then the next step after that, the vaccine. Why do you think Click has his clothing line with the mask for like writing on there, stay positive, test negative? Man, people are falling for it. That's because we got another 7 years to go after this. We're screwed. We are so screwed. If the evil side of the serpent took over and did it the way he originally wanted to. But there's always Hollywood. You can always fake stuff. You guys know you can fake it. Just lock all the cities down. In America. Everywhere. Just come up with an excuse, like the virus, and get people to either take it and just head out in society and continue to shop and stuff, or you don't take it and then you can't participate with anything that they're doing in the economy. Then you got to rely on God to provide like he always has for your entire life. But you don't rely on them in a sense where you're constantly calling them and you can't do things on your own. Not like that. Let me interpret. You call and rely on God the Father for certain things, which is the energy and the direction that your words can go. You leave that part up to God. But the work that you have to do, you got to do it. You can't leave that up to anybody else. You got to do your work on earth. And let God the Father do his work in the heavens. Soon. Soon. Soon I can say that I've endured to the end. It wasn't even difficult though. It would just be a little bit more easier if I didn't have to work for a living. I would have so much more time to just relax, get all this stuff done within like a 4-hour period, because it's pretty much all I really have after I'm done work. If I want to get at least 6-7 hours sleep, I try to go for 8. I'll get around 7 and a half sometimes. Because sometimes I just gotta shut it down. My mind doesn't stop thinking, just like everybody else's on planet Earth. You think you have a problem because you think all the time? No, you should worry more if you're not thinking at all. Where do you think your mind goes when you fall asleep? It's dreaming. It's swirling around. It's consistently swirling. You know, like the Mickey Mouse ears, because it goes in and it just keeps swirling and mixes with iron with clay. It'll always be that way. That's why Adam. See, Eve was taken out of Adam's side because she was a pain in the ass, or pain in the side. So God finally took Eve out of his side. Once he did that, then she was nicer. She was nicer. She was a good wife after that. Because spiritually, what you do is you just have more feelings. You're just closer to the spirit of love. And you don't allow your own demons in your head to take you off into left field anymore. It's the key to the bottomless pit. If you desire the key to the pit, do those things. If you're having problems with your thoughts, right, do this. Just focus on one thing and stop what you're doing. Do that more often, moments at a time. Here's how it works, with me anyway. When you stare at something to meditate, your vision blurs. When your vision blurs, you feel relaxed, comfortable. That's the motivation for staring at something for so long. Because who the hell wants to stare at something for so long? Nobody, until you stare at it for so long. Your eyes cross, and I'm sure somebody else, there's people that say it's demonic to relax, to stop thinking, and do yoga, to stretch. Every time I do push-ups before the night's over, I always get up and stretch and stretch. I don't have a back problem anymore. I had major back problems. I just don't have it anymore. Rarely, but because when you're constantly doing push-up, you keep yourself straight. Straight, like this, your spine. If you do something consistently and you stop thinking about it and just do it and stop complaining, you get more consistent with staring at something for 30 seconds. Because the idea, at least in my mind, is to get little moments at a time to get you ready to be able to take back your own thoughts. You're constantly in a hurry. You constantly feel like you're being pushed. If you try to stop, you feel like you gotta go. ADD is like that. ADD is a mindset. ADD can be cured with anybody. Even Justin. Right? Because there's a period of time where you can finally relax, which is when you finished your job. If you ain't working at this time, I'm not talking about a physical job. If you ain't working spiritually and your mind isn't producing, you're missing out. The greatest opportunity is to figure out what the world script is. Tell people, even if it's a simple text message to, like, I don't know, my boss. Let him know what I think if I'm going to have to be forced to wear a mask or take the vaccine or get a test. I had to tell him that I can no longer work for you. It's not because I don't want to. It's because my free will is being taken. And I did let him know before, maybe a couple weeks ago, I texted him that the economy, it's going to keep going down, and it's a reset. It's not going to stop. And it's not going to stop. It's going to change. It's going to change until it stops. You have to have the change first. You got to get everybody's hopes up high. And then snip, cut them. Where's the other screw at? I got a loose screw somewhere. Great.
I know, Robin. You got all types of loose. What, shouldn't you be on the 33rd floor somewhere and jumping?
That's Tony Camps. Tony Camps. Hey, Tony, thanks for putting my credit card out there on the internet. I know I did it myself. I showed both ends like an idiot, but you help. Here's what you helped me do. I'm going to give you credit for my desire to not pay credit cards anymore, because I seen that it was getting hacked into at Wawa. Somebody tried to spend 100 hours. I never spent 100 hours at Wawa. And then I canceled it. And I stopped paying it. And then I learned how to let go. I learned how to let go because of you, Tony. Tony Camps. Tony Camps gets a thumbs up for ruining my credit. I'm so grateful that you helped me ruin it. The hell with credit. Everything's going downhill anyway. It's the lesson. Seriously, the lesson that you learn from it. I got to give credit to Tony Camps. You even gave me a desire to give my car back on my birthday instead of receiving a gift. I gave it back. I mean, I wasn't paying for it for the entire year, but so what? I mean, at least I gave it back, right? They didn't repo it. I even gave it back with leather seats. I mean, it's beautiful inside. It was cloth. It was cloth, and I gave it back. Man, I feel like I'm climbing stairs. I gave it back in better condition. It had a better wing on there. I kind of miss my car. I mean, why would I lie? I'm not trying to pretend I wouldn't miss a damn nice ass car driving it. Who wouldn't? But see, that would be your... At times, people have beat so many lies into your head and judgmental thoughts that try to control you and get you to do what they want you to do. People are out there, they do try that. I mean, it's a war. I don't see a screw anywhere. Not the one I need. It's a war. And the war is in your head. You know, I do find it fascinating that the way Kleck and Derek Bros talk, they have so much information because they know all the information. They're telling you. And then it's just how you interpret. That's all it is. How do you interpret it? If you interpret with the mindset of what you're already taught throughout your life, you're not going to see it. Did I do that again? No, so you won't be able to see it. It's always going to be that way. Good and evil, brothers. They don't even need to be related. They can just be on planet Earth, and they have the same exact goal in the end, but they just have two different ways of getting there. And you know, when it comes to that, Satan's always going to want to get his way, but he has to be convinced otherwise, or else we all die. So the only way you can really die here is through fear. Men's hearts are going to fail them from fear, from the things that they see coming upon the earth. Not even the things that have already happened. The things that they see that are coming this way, you can tell that war is going to happen. You can tell that we are effed. I can sense it. You know, with even friends, like worker friends, people that you work with. I mean, not really anymore. It's just me and one person here. He does the touch-up. Sergio. It's his name, Sergio. He's the same age as me. Oh, Kleck, I want you to take care of Sergio. He works here. He knows Harold Camping too. He's Mexican and he's from New Mexico, but he lives in Jersey. He comes there every day. He's a damn good worker, dedicated, on time, all the time, never a problem. And he got his own house built in New Mexico. It's like a $2 million house, but he's waiting to get over there to take his rest because his house is already set up. And I need you to make sure he gets there. Just go down my contact list. Anybody that's on my contact list, I've talked to once or twice, or even if it's still people on YouTube. I'm just getting, because I don't know how YouTube's going to be exactly, but I do know they're going to shut us off at one point. It's going to be a 3-day period. And maybe after the 3 days, the second 9/11 happens, or it happens and then you go away for 3 days and then you come back. COVID-19. Waiting for that video. It's the second one.
Hey, hi, Kevin. Really nice. Well, this is great to be here. And we're doing something I love doing, planting trees. I've always loved it.
Me too.
And we get great
Can't
trees.
wait.
The First Lady and I are very grateful to be here on the south lawn of the White House as we celebrate the 50th annual Earth Day,
South, King of the South.
National Park Week,
Mm-hmm.
and the upcoming Arbor Day.
Second
It's
9/11.
going to be, tell me, David.
Fantastic.
That's right, Friday. Thank you.
Yes.
As more than
Well, that too.
180 nations around the world battle the vicious coronavirus, we continue to mourn the precious souls who have been lost, so sadly lost,
Yeah, the ones that fell.
so unnecessarily lost.
I know, the fallen angels.
Stopped, and it should have been stopped right where it started, and everyone knows where it started. But
That's
at this
right.
time of
China.
trial, the beauty of springtime fills us with the peace and the hope of renewal. We're pleased to be joined by our great Vice President Mike Pence.
Who's going to take over after 3 days
Such a great job on
when Trump dies of a coronavirus head wound?
We're opening again, Mike.
Oh,
Starting
definitely.
to
The
move.
pit. Yep, May 21st, 2020.
Great shape, and they're starting to move it along.
Hell yeah.
And very importantly, Karen Pence, who's been so fantastic.
Oh, my stepmom, Karen.
Such a great
Oh, that's awesome. You made the running, Karen. Yeah.
Also here are Secretaries David Bernhardt, Sonny Perdue, Administrator Wheeler, Andrew Wheeler, thank you, and Leader Kevin McCarthy. And what a job he's done.
Right?
Good vote the other day, yesterday, that was good. How's it, no, but previous to that, and when are you voting on the